Welcome to the inaugural Infrastructure Summit by the Western Cape Department of Infrastructure. To those of you that are joining us today, we appreciate your attendance because we do want to crowd in the effort that all of us take ownership of this infrastructure framework.
Provincial Minister of Infrastructure, Minister Tertius Simmers. We have with us as well the Provincial Minister of Mobility, Mr. Ricardo McKenzie. We have a number of the executive mayors present with us this morning, councillors of municipalities, colleagues as heads of department, including the head official of Treasury, the head of Department of Local Government, and the head of Department of Environmental Affairs and Development Planning, senior management members of the Department of Infrastructure, and a number of other departments of the Western Cape Government. We have contractors with us today, representatives of consultants present, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome, as Nathan said, to the Western Cape Government Infrastructure Summit for 2023. Infrastructure, however, should stand the test of time. It's not constructed overnight, and neither does infrastructure last only for a day. Infrastructure has a particular life cycle. We will leave behind a lasting legacy of either well-planned, well-designed, well-constructed, and well-maintained infrastructure, or a legacy of crumbling and aging infrastructure that is a burden to communities and future generations.
As the Western Cape Government, we want to tip the scale in our favour for the benefit of all the people in our province. Therefore, we have prioritised infrastructure in response to the many challenges we face together. We have prioritised infrastructure to facilitate economic growth and to improve the lives, once again, of all of our citizens, because they are at the centre of what our decisions are based upon. We find ourselves, thus, in a unique position in the history of our country. A position depending on which sides of the scale you choose to stand on. That of a side where the glass is looked at as half full, or where it looks to be half empty. At the end of the day, the choice is up to you, and it's up to how we as a provincial cabinet and as a provincial department, we approach that glass moving forward. Infrastructure is a strategic public good instrument that, if designed to address grand challenges, it can provide direction and significant impact on the quality of life of all of our citizens across our province.
Good governance and getting that right is the fundamental foundation of moving to the next level that we all are talking about today. So we couldn't be thinking of an infrastructure department and an infrastructure conversation with local government, with the National Department of Infrastructure South Africa, and saying, well, how are we going to push these boundaries to that next level if we don't have the basics right? I always talk to people about how many books a CEO reads in a year. And the statistics show that CEOs of major global companies read on average of 60 books a year. Ketso Gordon gave me a statistic the other day when we were meeting with the education, private sector education businesses in the region. And he said that there's a stat that shows you that in a household that has less than 15 books, the education outcome of the children of that household will be less than the education standard of the parents. So in other words, that household is going to have a worse off education outcome than the current parent's education. But how do we make sure that we are understanding these problems that's on our risk register and we're making a difference? I heard another statistic that 43% of our households in South Africa don't have one book in the household. So that's huge if we're going to think about future thinking, future planning, and it's got, we can all say, nothing to do with infrastructure, but I want to say it's got everything to do with infrastructure.
As the Western Cape Government and the Department of Infrastructure, we have started something. However, we cannot do this alone, as we need the private sector to be involved and to partner with us, given the sheer scale of some of our announcements we will be doing during the course of this financial year. But I look forward to engaging with you further today and to establish partnerships that will help us realize our vision of enabling infrastructure-led growth and investment for the Western Cape for the benefit of all of our citizens. But above all, that this partnership that we seek to bind, we seek to re-cement, will be partnerships where we all benefit. But above all, that the citizens of our province benefits moving forward. Thank you very much.